Hi, I'm Terry Cargis. I'm the Executive Director here at the Petersen Museum, and we're here celebrating Enzo Ferrari's birthday today.
I'm Richard Kidd. I'm representing the Ferrari Club of America. Thank you so much for coming out.
How did that happen?
Yeah, I don't know. So a few people voted for me. It's crazy. I just want to thank everybody for coming out. This event is in celebration of Enzo's birthday for the Petersen. Petersen was gracious enough to open up the museum, and they wanted to put this on to welcome everybody into the museum. And I want to thank you all for coming out, get to meet some other Ferrari owners and see some Ferraris. We've got some great people here today to talk. I'm going to kick it off with Terry Cargis, the Executive Director of the Petersen here currently, just to say a few words. Couple little things. Don't forget to vote for the People's Choice Award. There'll be a winner. We've got a nice little gift bag for the winner for coming out today. I want to thank Johnny Rockets and Dick for providing the pastries and the coffee for everybody here. And yes, thank you, Johnny Rockets. Let you know that again, as you drove in, you got a 2-for-1 to get into the museum. Feel free to spend the day here. Johnny Rockets has got special meatball subs today in honor of our Italian.
Visit the gift store.
Yeah, and visit the gift store. So, but thank you again for coming, and we'll kick it to Terry. And if I forgot anything, I'll come up at the end of all our chats.
Thank you all so much for being here. When I came in and started in my position in August, and we started talking about what are the things that we can do to attract different folks or folks who hadn't been here in a while. And one of the things we talked about was, all right, well, where are all the Ferrari owners? How do we talk to them? And one of the things that happened was that we were coming up on Carol Shelby's birthday, so we thought, okay, well, we need to do something to honor Carol, so when is his birthday? Well, it happened last month, so we did a Shelby birthday, and then we were talking about it as we were making the plans. Well, when is Enzo's birthday? So we decided, all right, why don't we celebrate Enzo's birthday and do something with all the Ferrariistas, and that's how we ended up here today. But it was also through the good graces of the Ferrari Club, who meets here the first Saturday of every month. We went to them and said, what do you folks think about that? And they said, we would love to do it. We're behind it. Let's get involved. So this is our first year. What we wanted to do was just see if there was going to be interest in it. So let's pick a day, let's do it. And next year we'll grow this and do it better. We want to bring in some race cars. We want to bring in some drivers. We want to have some fun with it.
These are all race cars.
These are all race cars.
Thank you. That's what I was told.
Well, I said drivers too. So anyway, but really, thank you so much for being here. It means a lot. The proceeds, of course, that come into the museum. Remember, we pay for bringing 15,000 underprivileged kids into the museum every year. And what's so great is watching our docents taking these kids on a tour through the museum and watching these kids listen in silence to what is going on. Especially, I was watching a group of little bitty guys in front of the Art Center design studio there. And these kids, if you can do something that gets about 15, 20 kids absolutely quiet and focused, and it's not a cartoon, you've worked some magic. And that's what our docents do every day. Like I say, we're bringing in 15,000 kids, and you being here today and supporting us helps support that. We have opened the vault for tours. We're giving, I think, four tours on the weekends and 2 a day on the weekdays. So please take advantage of that. There's about 150 cars, and the tour gives you information on each one of the cars. So it's a great way to spend 90 minutes. There's another fellow here I think you all know Dick Messer, who is the longest running director here at the museum, who really helped build this. It was Mr.
Now you got to feel sorry for Terry, because what happens is you go from being executive director to flipping burgers. It's supposed to go the other way. You go from the 3rd floor executive suite down to the 1st floor. But we're there at Johnny Rockets. We built that restaurant in 2009 because the museum really did need food service, and nobody was stepping up. And I was still the director of the museum. And Joanne and I just said, okay, let's just go ahead and do this. Johnny Rockets indicated an interest. We were able to get an exclusive franchise agreement, because there is a franchisee from this area. Don't go to his restaurants, they're awful. And we were able to work out with Johnny Rockets, so we've got that restaurant there. But the thing you probably don't, well, a lot of you do, Giacomo does if he's here somewhere. He came in an FF. Where is he? Oh, there you are. Okay. Mr. Petersen was a real Ferrari guy. That was the deal. I mean, his first passion overall passion was guns and shooting and all that. And he has a ranch out, or had a ranch out in Palmdale that was a big shooting ranch, and he was the chairman of the shooting event for the Olympics in 1984 and all that. But his second passion was automobiles. Of course, Hot Rod Magazine started the Petersen publishing empire, and then went to Motor Trend in 1949 and went on from there. But he would go to Giacomo every day and buy a new Ferrari. And he had, yeah, every day. I mean, well, Giacomo would call him every day. Exactly. The new and latest Ferrari, he had one, and we have them here in the collection. The most significant Ferrari we have, which you'll see if you take the vault tour, which I highly encourage, is the Henry Ford the second Ferrari from Enzo. Enzo put this Ferrari together. It's a 212 export, 1952 Ferrari. It's supposedly the first Ferrari to leave the factory with white wall tires on it, and we got pictures of all that, and that may be disputed, but anyway, he built this car on the export chassis, which was a longer chassis, so it's very comfortable to drive the car. Henry Ford II was a pretty rotund guy, and Enzo had a real held up Henry Ford in great esteem, and that's one reason, among many, they did the V12 motor. The V12 was in the Zephyr Ford Motor Company car, and they did that. So Enzo made this Ferrari, sent it over to Petersen, or to not to Petersen, to Henry Ford II. We came by the car, a very funny story, and we all have stories about our cars. This car was advertised for sale for 3 years. And Leslie Kendall, the curator of the museum, who was just a fabulous, in-tune guy, kept coming to me as I was director and said, "Dick, we really got to look at this car. We really got to. It's a very historic automobile." Enzo Ferrari gave it to Henry Ford II as a gift, and also there's a lot of 55 T-Bird in that car. It ended up in the design studios at Dearborn, and they used a lot of dimensions on the car, and the tail lights and stuff like that are very T-Bird-like. In fact, the Touring emblem looks like a T-Bird emblem. Anyway. I kept talking to Petersen about it, and this is how we accumulated a lot of the collection. Well, Pete, we really, no. Where is it? Oh, it's in southern France, belonged to a guy in southern France. And he had all race cars. He had Maseratis and Bugattis and stuff like that, and only one touring car, this 212 Ferrari. Finally, I'm over there for Retromobile. I said, Pete, I'm going to go down to Nice and see this guy and see what's wrong with this car, because nobody's buying it. And I went down and saw the guy that owned it. He owned a couple of shopping centers, and he's a well-to-do guy. He has a chalet, and he has his garage underneath the grass in the chalet. And I see his mechanic, and I said, well, can we take a ride in the car? And we get in the car, it fires right up, and we go out, and I drive it. It shifts beautifully, it runs great, it's not smoking out the back. I go, what the hell's the story here? We'll take it, we'll go ahead and buy the car. So we sat down and spent a day talking about the car, and he had all the documents and all that, and we shipped the car back here. I got 5 calls within a week of people knew we bought the car and they wanted to buy the car. So that's the way those things happen sometime. It was really a provident deal, and we paid $1 million for the car, and right now it's worth $3 to $5 million. So it's really, hang on to your Ferraris and you'll be all right. Anyway, it's great to have Terry here. I did retire in 2010. And we just want to do great stuff for the museum. I see a lot of checkered flag guys here. I'm also a checkered flag member, have been since the day one. Giacomo's a checkered flag member, and just come join the museum, join the checkered flag, join one of the memberships. We do great things other than this. I mean, this is a lot of fun. We did Shelby's birthday on January 12th, which was actually his birthday, and it happened to be on Saturday. Enzo's birthday now, and then March 2nd up here. We'll have, what do you figure, about 400 Corvettes? Yeah. 400 to 500 Corvettes. It's a 60th anniversary Corvette. So again,
as of last night, one of 2 of the new 2014 cars.
So they'll all be here, and we're going to do the same thing. So like Terry says, Terry comes from marketing of all kinds of background with Disney, with Marine World, with Roush. So he knows how to really put these things together. So please join the museum. We depend on your membership to support the museum. And the museum is self-sustaining. This stuff about Petersen's estate and all that, there's another story to that. So, please be around, come see us in Johnny Rockets. There's always a gathering of car people in there. A lot of Australians and Europeans are in there all the time, and we just talk cars. So thanks for coming. Giacomo now will tell you how to buy a Ferrari. He's got it over here. But Petersen did buy every new one right on down the line. You name it, we had it, and I got to drive it, so that was kind of cool.
That was good, right?
Thanks.
Thank you, Dick. Thank you. Well, I was asked to join you today, and a wonderful memory of Mr. Petersen, and and very wonderful memories also of Enzo Ferrari. So, I obviously couldn't say no. I mean, then this morning I was getting ready. I was thinking, what am I going to tell you guys? And I thought about to tell when I first met Enzo Ferrari, which is a story that actually I haven't told to many people. So it's kind of strange now to tell it here in this parking lot. But at that time I was dating Antonella for about 6 months, which was the Enzo Ferrari niece, right? And the only niece. And I got this phone call. It was a Sunday, and she told me, Grandpa wants to meet you. So I was terrified. I said, oh boy, I knew this was coming. So I jumped on my scooter. At that time I was 17, and I drive to Maranello. I lived in Modena, which is, about 10 miles, 9 miles. And I didn't notice that, I don't know if you're familiar with scooters, but the Piaggio scooters, they have a reserve. And you switch, and then sure enough I ran out of fuel on the way there. So I pull in, in this little house on the side of the old road to go to Maranello, and I'm short about 2 kilometers. And the guy's there, and he's getting ready to go to the square to get his espresso. So I say, can you give me a ride to Maranello? Say, oh, no problem. So I park my scooter there, jump in the car with the guy, we ride, and we get in front of the Cavallino restaurant. And I say, no, I get off here. And he goes like, no, it's closed today. On Sunday it's closed. I say, no, it's okay. I just want to take a look, so, because, Enzo Ferrari, he had his private room there. So I get off the restaurant, I go in, and then, of course, I hear him saying, in the private room, oh, bring him alive, So, so I walk in, and it was a great experience. He was fantastic, and very charming guy, obviously, very witty, and basically Antonello would get away with everything, was the only one, I think, in the world would get away with everything, right? The only niece, so. And so it was great, we watched TV, and Piero was there, and Floriano was there, and then finally, say, okay, I'll take a nap now, bye-bye, and we leave the room, and then there is Piero, say, oh, how did you get here? I was like, well, funny enough, I ran out of, when I scooted, say, oh, no problem. So next thing is I'm with Piero in the racing department looking for fuel. They needed to be mixed with oil, because I don't know if you're familiar with a scooter, but then, so here we have this little tank. So we did this little, like 2 liters or 3 liters of fuel. And then next things, I am in the, Piero at that time had a 412, driving me to the house of the guy down the street that sees me pulling in with Piero Ferrari driving in a Ferrari, and refilling my scooter. The guy's face was like, what the heck is it? So anyway, that was the story how I met Enzo Ferrari. So other than that, it's true what you said. This is a racing car, so absolutely, drive it, enjoy it. I mean, along with me today, I decided to bring, the technical director of my racing team, Scuderia Corsa, Roberto, is here.
Hi.
And I figure, maybe you guys have any questions. I don't know if you followed us, but we participated in Daytona 24-hour last month. We came 4th. We were in the lead for 110 laps, and at the end it didn't quite work out, but, it was close enough. So. Anyway, I'm here available. Thank you again for your passion and your enthusiasm about the brand.
I just want to finish up by saying thank you again for coming. Thank you to Giacomo. Thank you to Dick and to Terry.
Yes.
Thank you so much for everybody bringing your beautiful cars out here. Stay, enjoy the museum. One thing, don't forget to vote. Don't forget to sign up if you didn't RSVP to me that you're going to be here. Please sign up. There's a Petersen email, but there's also an email list for this event. Just go ahead to the membership table, sign up so that we know you're here. We can invite you to similar events again. Again, thank you very much, and go Ferrari.
All right.
Yeah, the museum. If you want to enjoy the museum, down to the first floor, main entrance. It's 2 for 1. Thanks again for coming. What if you didn't get?